What's going on, world? Brian Wright here, and you are now tuned into the Brian Wright Radio Show, where we offer value in ways that we can change people's lives so they can change the world. Now, today's topic is what I want to talk about today. It's called persistence. Now, what is persistence? Persistence is having the ability that even though things aren't going your way, you say, I'm still going to continue to do it. No matter the circumstances, no matter what your bank account look like, you are going to keep going at this thing until you achieve your outcome. Now, persistence is a thing that is easily said than done, because when you're not seeing fast results, when you're not getting from sun to moon, from moon to sun, quick results, it's easy to just be like, you know what? I'm not going to persist. I'm going to stop. I'm going to quit. I'm not going to even try it anymore because you know why? It's not working. And it's not that it's not working. It's just that you are not working it. Nothing in life, that's not the way nature is designed. Nothing in life can do anything without persistence. Without the persistence of the rain, without the persistence of the sun. I want you to think about it. These things were not persistent. If the sun was like, you know what, I'm going to come today and I'm going to show up in 6 months, we would all die. If the rain said, I'm going to come today and then not show up in 6 months, there would be a drought and the land would be dry, and it wouldn't be good for the crops, and it wouldn't be good for the earth because most of the vegetation and the fruits that we enjoy today wouldn't be able to grow. There would be no produce. So with that being said, you see how persistent life has to be in order to work. It's the same way with a human being. In order for anything to work, you have to persist at it. And I know what it is. The mind can play its tricks on you. And that's what the mind does. Like, if you like me, when you first start things and you don't see the results, and you start thinking like, man, is this really for me? Is this really something that I can do? The answer is yes. You just have to persist. Just because nobody else is supporting you right now don't mean that you won't be supported in the future. I got to get these videos out. No matter how the analytics look, no matter how many people are viewing it right now, I still have to do it because I feel like I have a message. And if I stop now, then I'm definitely not going to get to it. I don't know what it is about people that makes them go, you know what? I didn't get to my goal, so I'm just going to quit. Duh, you're not going to get to it if you quit. You got to persist at it. You got to go the extra mile. You got to be willing to go where other people will not. That's the point of a marathon. When people do a marathon, people go hard at that. And I heard the last mile or the last little bit left of the marathon is the hardest. And the person that has the most endurance is going to win. Not the person that's the fastest, none of that stuff. The person that is persistent and goes, you know what? I am not going to stop running even when I'm tired. When I'm on that Stairmaster at Gold's Gym, shout out to Gold's. They not my sponsor, but I'm saying shout out to them because that's the place where I got in the best shape of my life. But when I'm on that Stairmaster and I'm tired and I'm sweating and I'm breathing all hard and stuff like that, I just have to tell my mind, one more step, one more step, one more step. And that's what you have to do in life. You can't pay attention to what's going on around you. You can't pay attention to who's not supporting you. All you have to do is pay attention to the goal. And even though you're sweating, even though you putting blood, sweat, and tears in it, even though you putting your all into it and you ain't seeing the results, that don't mean nothing ain't happening. I went from 260 to 180 over a 6 month period. You know why? Because I wasn't paying attention to any of that stuff. I was being persistent and I didn't let anything get in my way. And also, I was being persistent at my diet. But you know what? As soon as I stepped on the Stairmaster, things didn't happen right away. It took 6 months. And, I wasn't really paying attention. Next thing you know, bam, I had six-pack abs. Like I was in the best shape of my life. And that's what happened when I was persistent. If I just would have stepped on the Stairmaster and been like, you know what, I'm still going to do the Stairmaster and then I'm going to go home and eat cheeseburgers, it would have never happened like that. You have to be persistent at your goals, at your dreams. You have to set goals so you can monitor where you are in the process. But the main thing that you have to be is persistent. You got to be willing to go, you know what? That 3-month goal is down the road. Let me persist. The easy thing to do is to give up. That's what majority of people do. First of all, they give up before they even start, or they run the race for a little while and then they just get out of it because they feel like no one's giving them the recognition they deserve. Well, you got to be persistent until that recognition comes. You have to be persistent until that recognition comes. You cannot be like, I seen a funny story on Instagram one time, and a girl, she was an independent artist like me, and she just woke up out of nowhere doing a funny skit. She said, you know what? I know exactly what to do since people ain't listening to my music. I'll quit. That's dumb. What you gonna quit for? If you in it 2, 3, 4 years, what are you quitting for? You done already put too much time in anyway. You gotta be persistent because that is the only way that you can get to the prize. I want you to think about everybody that achieved something great. They had to be persistent. They could not just do it, then stop, do it, then stop, do it, then stop. Some people lived in their cars to get to where they are. Some people was homeless to get to where they are. Steve Harvey told a story the other day how he was homeless on Shannon Sharp's show. So if it took them that long to get there, and it took them going through all that to get there, what makes you any different? There's no difference. Yes, sometimes you can feel like you're greater than others, and sometimes you can feel like you're better than others at other things. But guess what? If you're not persistent, the world will never find out. The world will never know your gift. Whatever you decide that you want to bring to the world will never know it without persistence. And I have to tell myself this because I struggle with it too. You know, going through the YouTube analytics. But the thing is, yo, you just started the channel, B. You just started the channel, bro. Like, you can't be upset. Like, this is what happens when you first get started. No one knows you. You have to make a name for yourself. And in order to make a name for yourself, people got to know that you have a story and that you're persistent at telling that story. I'm persistent at making sure that I find people that will leave the world a better place. I'm persistent to find out that I can do this. I'm persistent to have people reach out to me and be like, hey man, this message changed my life. I'm persistent at all that stuff. Sometimes you got to realize too why you're being persistent, because it's not always about money. Yes, we want to get money, but the greatest income is impact. Never forget that. The greatest income is impact. Who live are you impacting in order to get to where you want to go? You can't do it without persistence. You're going to get better over time, but you're only going to get better if you persist. I want you to think of the thing that you do good the most. You do good the most at it. You know why? Because you persist at it. Now I want you to think about the things that you're terrible at. And you know why you're terrible at them? Because you don't persist to it. You don't commit to it. You don't want to commit to it. It doesn't interest you. But the things that you know how to do, please believe that you're persistent in it. I know how to play 2K. I'm not the best. You know, I don't claim to be the best, but I think I'm pretty decent at it. You know, I beat people that said they're good at it before. And, you know, I've been beaten, but I'm good at it. Why? Because I play it persistently. Why am I good at music? Because I write songs consistently. I'm persistent. I go to school. I'm about to get my degree. Why? Because I'm persistent. I can't just go to my school this month and then take 4 months off and then come back. I mean, I could, but, you know, they got a time limit to where, you know, if you miss too many days then or too many months, they got to cut you out because they can't, you know, they got to keep up with their rotation or whatever. I don't even know. Went on a rant right there. But, you know, you got to be persistent. There's nothing in this earth that you can do if you are not persistent. I don't care what it is. And on that note, I really hope that this message changed your mindset when it comes to being persistent. And while you're persistent, the beautiful thing is going to be you're going to find out who you are, and you're going to actually find out what the world thinks about who you are and the message that you're trying to portray. So, with that being said, I just want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to look at yourself right now. And I want you to say, from today on, I'm going to be persistent. I'm not going to care about what they say. I'm not going to think about what they say. I'm not going to care what numbers look like right now. I'm not going to care about any of that stuff. I'm not going to jump too far ahead of myself. What I'm going to do is be present in the moment and just get it done and just release it and be persistent at it so the world can find out who I am and hopefully people receive my message. I really enjoy doing this. It's really eye-opening, but at the same time, it takes a lot of overcoming self-limitations. And I got a video on that. If you ain't checked it out, go check it out. Self-limitations. And, I have to be persistent, because without being persistent, you guys wouldn't even get these messages. You guys wouldn't be blessed to hear this story. You guys wouldn't be blessed to think of life in a different way. That's the reason why I'm doing it, because I understand once you change somebody's mind, you can change their lives. So let's be persistent. Let's keep going. No matter what the masses say, no matter what your mindset say, no matter what anyone says, you're going to be persistent. And you're not going to stop until the objective and the mission is complete. You know the motto, no distractions till riches. Let's level up.